What's the deal with toxic family structure? That's what we're talking about today at queenbeing.com. Let's get started. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. Does that sound good to you? If so, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So the deal with toxic families is kind of weird, right? We start off with a narcissist. In our case, the type of family that we're discussing begins with a narcissist. The narcissist is usually either the mother or the father of the family, and they're the central point for everyone in the family. Everybody in the family kind of moves around the narcissist, right? So how does that look? Well, sometimes both parents are narcissists, or one parent is an enabler or a codependent, while the other is a narcissist. So one parent is the iron fist and the other parent is the supporter of the iron fist, right? So today we're just going to run down the cast. We're going to run down the list of the types of narcissistic family members, toxic family members, okay, that there are. Now, we'll go into details on these as we move forward in our work together. Beginning with the narcissist, like I said, it's usually the mom or the dad of the family, the parent, and it's the person who everyone revolves around in the family. They might have NPD, they criticize everybody in the family, they expect everyone to be exactly what they want. They might even compete with their children or their spouse. They obviously have no boundaries, and if you have any, they'll step right all over them. Of course, they have boundaries regarding their own selves and their own feelings, just not regarding you or your feelings. They manipulate you, they terrorize you, they abuse you. Verbally, sometimes emotionally, sometimes physically, they abuse you. They'll shame you, gaslight you, project their own bad qualities onto you, and expect you to become many versions of themselves. If you don't do that, oh my stars, you'll pay for it for life. Now, like I said, the other parent is usually either an enabler or a codependent, or they are also a narcissist. Now, if they are an enabler, like I said, we're looking at someone who holds the narcissist up, right? We're looking at someone who enforces the narcissist's rules, does the narcissist's bidding, oftentimes behaves like an internal flying monkey, so to speak, when it comes to the family. They are also a victim. They have been manipulated. They have been abused themselves by the narcissist in most cases. So as they avoid attack, they often are seeking rewards, as in they want affection and love and big hugs and nice things from the narcissist. So sometimes it causes them to throw their children under the bus. It's kind of a horrible thing. But I'm here to tell you that those who are educating themselves, even those who are still in that enabler role, those who are still educating themselves today, those people who are learning, things are going a little different, okay? And I just want to point this out because I don't want anyone who's watching this video right now to think, oh, am I doing that to my children? If you're not. For example, I spoke to a client today who is from all the way across the globe in a culture that does not in any way promote females as equals. And yet she has been watching these videos and has told her children, her daughters, that they don't have to accept less than they deserve. Even though she herself feels stuck in her situation, she is breaking the cycle for her daughters, and I think it's a beautiful thing. So do not fear that what I'm talking about is necessarily connected to you personally, okay? Let's carry on. Next up, we've got the golden child. And the golden child, as you all know, is the kid who can do no wrong in the family. The kid that the family hangs all its hopes on and the parents always compare the other children to. They can't do any wrong. They have special status in the family. They get special privileges. A lot of times it's the child that the narcissistic parent identifies with most closely, and many times happens to be the highest achieving child in the family, at least in childhood. Of course, as you all know, there's no cemented place in a family like this for anyone except the narcissist. So often the golden child will be moved into other positions as, you know, days and years go by. So be aware of that, because in a toxic family, the roles, they're fluid, unfortunately. So you might have played the golden child sometimes and the scapegoat child sometimes, and sometimes the lost child and everything in between. And in fact, that's what we're talking about next, the scapegoat child. So the scapegoat child is that kid who usually is kind of the catch-all, the one who is blamed for everything that's happening in the family, the child who is fair game for abuse, the child who, when anybody does anything wrong, gets blamed for it, whether it's the golden child or the scapegoat child or the lost child who we're talking about next. And in some families, the narcissists will actually scapegoat more than one child. And like I said, since those roles are fluid, sometimes the golden child becomes a scapegoat child and vice versa. The scapegoat child, unlike whereas the golden child might be most likely to really, oh, we have to hold up the family values, we have to support the family and do all the things the family wants. Well, the scapegoat child is more likely to be a rebel. I was a scapegoat child myself. The scapegoat child is usually the one who is like questioning authority. The scapegoat child is the one that doesn't fit into the little hole that they make for them. And the scapegoat child is the one that, while the narcissistic parents sometimes consider the scapegoat child like a pain in the ass, and again, is the one that gets blamed for everything, the scapegoat child actually a lot of times turns out to be the one to break the cycle in this whole toxic family situation. And what I mean by break the cycle is break the cycle for the generations that happen after them. Because whether we like to admit it or not, a lot of these behaviors that we pick up and that our toxic counterparts pick up are a direct result of the way we and they were raised in toxic families. Now let's talk about the lost child. Not everybody recognizes the lost child, which is ironic because it's a lost child. This is a lot of times the middle kid, but not always. It's the kid who, keeps their nose clean, kind of blends into the wall a little bit, doesn't get a lot of attention from anybody, and doesn't say a lot. It's the kid who might go off and do drugs and never be found out because the parents don't pay enough attention. This is the kid who, in between all the trouble the scapegoat's getting in and all the problems or all the, praise that the good kid is getting, the golden child, this is the kid lost in the middle somewhere. And a lot of us are also the lost child. Again, this can be a rotating setup here. What is this all about? How does this work and why does it work this way? Well, I bet you if you have any siblings and you look at your childhood, you could probably identify which of those you were. And I bet you if you look at your current situation, if you are currently in a toxic family, you might be able to identify some of these roles in your toxic family. Like I said, though, most people who are educating themselves and who are also parents today aren't putting their children into these roles. And if their children have inadvertently been placed in these roles, they are actively not allowing that to happen. So I'm interested in your thoughts on this whole toxic family structure. And that's the question of the day. Question of the day. What do you think about this whole toxic family structure? And can you personally identify with it? Please do me a favor and share your thoughts and your ideas and your experiences in the comment section below. And let's talk about this. I think this is serious. And if you're interested in having me do additional videos about each of these these types of people in these families, let me know and I will go into more detail on each one in future videos very soon. If you want those videos, give me a like and a comment and let me know. That's all I've got for you right now. Thanks so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon. It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body, take care of your soul, nurture the real you, and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot, take it now, and the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.